Ramifications galore here. Penn State and Iowa, the top two teams. The score right now is Penn State 135.5 and Iowa's at 133. A win here would be 4 points. And so Ed Ruth, tell you what, he gets right on in the attack right away. And the last time that these two met in the dual meet, Ed Ruth just lit up Lofthouse, went to both directions on his shots and had 4 takedowns. And again, Lofthouse is much improved from the wrestler I've seen here earlier in the season, and so he is having a good tournament, doing an excellent job on his finishes, but gives up an early takedown to one of the best, two-time NCAA champion, going for 3.
Usually when you're one of the best or two of the best, you've met a lot of times before. These guys go all the way back to the Walsh Ironman Invitational Championship in the Cleveland area there at Walsh Jesuit High School, where Ed Ruth beat Ethan Lofthouse 10-5 in high school at 171 pounds. Here they are in the 184-pound Big Ten championship match.
Again, this would salt away a pretty significant margin and expand that lead, all right, from basically 2.5 points to 6.5 points without any bonus points.
There's what Jim was talking about. Penn State's lead, tenuous right now, 2.5 points, with Ed Ruth, the highly favored wrestler right here, to become the 13th four-timer. David Taylor, his teammate, just became the 12th. There's a shot by Ethan Lofthouse. He's in on it. Can he catch that far leg? Look at that athleticism.
Yeah, he's just got to get a better hold of that leg, Lofthouse does, and so he can go ahead and scoop that bottom leg. And so this is the athletic ability that Ruth has and possesses. And, you know, in this position, you just, that grip, it's tough to break. The best Lofthouse could probably hope for is a stalemate, but that was a nice shot. Most guys he scores on in that position. Now, I walked out of the semis and the quarters really impressed with the direction that Lofthouse is going. Had some competition for his spot. That doesn't hurt anybody. Nice double leg.
Ed Ruth, Pennsylvania native, finished his prep career at Blair Academy. He was the number 5 overall recruit by Intermat in the class of 2009, and his teammate David Taylor was that number 1 spot there, the number 1 recruit in the nation. Guy named Kyle Dake was number 4. Kyle Dake didn't take a redshirt year, and
I think it's safe to say all those guys panned out.
Chris Perry was number 3.
Again, all 4 of them then, I guess. That else. Nice work there by Ruth on the edge of the mat. Short time. Under 15 seconds. Little crab ride situation. Ruth trying to gain an advantage. And you've seen a little bit less of that tight far side cradle here. And it's just like the same thing that happens with David Taylor. Guys are aware of it. They're cautious. They don't bring their knee anywhere close to their head. You know, it could be the end of the match.
We talk about 4-timers. David Taylor becoming over the 12th. We have 3 coaches in the Big Ten who are all 4-timers. University of Wisconsin coach Barry Davis, a 4-timer. Indiana's coach Dwayne Goldman, who have a heavyweight in the championships today, a 4-timer. And Illinois' Jim Heffernan, a 4-timer.
And all NCAA champions.
All NCAA champions, and Barry Davis and the Wisconsin Badgers and the athletic administration, they're stalling, called on Ethan Lofthouse. But just to go ahead and say one more time, what a wonderful job Wisconsin has done in hosting these Big Ten championships. The 100th edition. As we go out on break, you're seeing pictures from past championships as different schools shared their pictures with the Big Ten Network, and just a great, great history in the Big Ten.
See if Lofthouse can go ahead and crowd a little position and get back in on that single leg and have a little success. Yeah, that grip of Ed Ruth too. You see that those interlocked hands are just driving back in, reaches to the far leg. Again, not always. He just possesses so many gifts with that range that he has with his arms and his grip. You know, and
reach is just a little easier for him, isn't it?
It is. I mean, it's not so much as arms. I mean, the dude has got a wide set of shoulders, you know, and you know, it just really wreaks havoc with the opponent. He knows when to drop back in.
That's why they call him Easy Ed. Easy Ed. It looks easy, but you know it's anything but. He's a tremendous athlete, and
but I've seen vast improvement in his ability to attack to both sides, and that's what I'm looking for. And that doesn't come easy, and it's not natural. And you look at this little scramble situation. Comes back up, right? In the single, drops back on the leg, below the knee.
2 more points for Ed Ruth, trying to become a 3-time NCAA champion. He got injured in an earlier round his freshman year, had to default in the NCAAs, then came all the way back for 3rd place as a freshman, has won it as a sophomore and junior, and going for his 3rd this year, going for his 4th Big Ten championship today.
Yeah, you mentioned that his freshman year, came back on one leg and got all the way back to the 3rd place, which is the, you know, really the kind of the gut check round. And you know, I say this about him: when he's wrestling for his team and those team points, he's all money.
Well, you bring up this a lot, Jim, and the way that these Penn State wrestlers understand their coach when he says, give me bonus points and we can have an 11th man on the team. And that's how they go for it. They go for the bonus points and this, but even more so the NCAAs, and it's like having an 11th man.
It really is that the points that both Taylor and Ruth are able to collect, it's almost like having a 3rd or 4th place finisher. You get a chance to wrestle 5 rounds. You know, you heard James Green talk about 5 more matches. Well, you know, if you're getting bonus points, that's 5 more points. That's almost like
could be 10 more points.
Yeah, exactly. And then the bonus points that you have with the pins and the tech falls, and you know, what do we count up here in David Taylor's career? He's had probably 21 bonus points, 22 bonus points in the NCAA. They don't have the exact number off of memory, but Ed Ruth is the same way, and you know, here's a guy who's gotten majors the last 2 years in the NCAA finals. Those are 8-point decisions.
And it is by design. It is how their coaches coach.
And I'll tell you this, you know, Ed Ruth, Penn State needed every point last year. Quentin Wright's win at 97 prevented the national title going down to a Dake Taylor match. And we know how that turned out. So those bonus points are huge. And you know, the University of Iowa was that kept them in this tournament at this point. They were the ones that had a lot of bonus points in this tournament so far. But when you have Taylor and Ruth, he's got 3 minutes of riding time, so he has right at a major right now. So if he stays in the top position, he gets that extra team point.
You know, Jim, you and I have talked about, we know where this Penn State dynasty started with these two. There doesn't seem to be an end with it.
Well, they seem to be about one more recruiting class away from really stringing together a nice title. Both you and I were with Coach Gable after the Iowa-Minnesota meet, and he talked about, can either one of these teams beat Penn State? And so far in this tournament, the answer is no.
There's your 4-timer, along with his teammate David Taylor, the 13th 4-time Big Ten champion in the history, 100-year history of the Big Ten Wrestling Championships, Ed Ruth.
Really enjoyed watching him wrestle throughout his Big Ten career and have a lot of success.